Welcome, queens. Welcome. My name is Lydia. I am an artist, a speaker, a teacher, writer, and above all else, I am a woman who loves to inspire other women. And this is Queen Conversation. I am so excited to continue the Yesvember series. We've been saying yes, 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 and this episode is no different. We are saying yes. Oh goodness. Yes to joy. Saying yes to joy. And as you can tell, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm a little giddy. Just a little. Okay, but we are going to unpack what it means to say yes to joy, how we can say yes to joy, why we should say yes to joy. But before we start, please get yourself something good to drink, to snack on, and get comfortable because we have a great conversation ahead. This is Queen Conversation. Let's get into it. Well, Queen, I am so excited to get into this topic, and I'm so excited that I'm giddy right now because I wanted to start off being very, very transparent. And this talk is going to be one that is from my heart to yours because, in all honesty, joy is something that I have been believing in. And it started with this scripture that says, a joyful heart is good medicine. And I'm someone that in my past, if you saw my Say No to Drugs video, you saw that I have been given a lot of prescription pills for various things over the past 2 years. And so thinking of a joyful heart as being good medicine, as being something that is able to bring health and strength and that is able to provide relief and comfort from dis-ease. Obviously, not just for the mind, but even for the body. That is something that I certainly desire and something that I have received and I've wanted to be intentional about. All of that to be said, though, is not easy. It is not easy. And I think I've had to take a step back and say, you know what? Joy is indeed something that it makes me smile because I am so aware of it and I hear it everywhere. Everyone is talking about joy. That's the beauty of life. That's the power of intention. And I really do believe that so many times our lives are really blessed with the little reminders, you know, that you're on the right track, or just little reminders that you just need to keep on thinking positive and good things are going to happen. I mention all of that because of the fact that some of you may be struggling with the idea of joy. Now, if you're struggling with gratitude, then I know for sure, I believe that you are struggling with joy because those are two things that are connected. Again, we talked last week about saying yes to gratitude and saying yes in appreciation. So if you need to watch that video or you need to watch that video again, it is linked below, right? When you understand the power of gratitude, it's really understanding the value and the worth of something and giving thanks from a place of understanding. So when it comes to joy, many of you might honestly be struggling with joy because you have this one question. What do I have to be joyful about? Joy meaning delight, jubilation, exaltation, triumph. I mean, these are feelings that if you are feeling them, it's like, that is like excitement stuff. That's like for a breakthrough. That is not something that I'm just experiencing every day. Am I experiencing triumph all the time? And am I experiencing jubilation all the time? Like, joy is a pretty tall order. And a lot of us are asking, what do I really have to be joyful about? What do I really have to celebrate? And I can understand that. I can step back and be truthful. Like, in theory and in talking and in having a conversation, joy sounds so good. Joy sounds so possible. Joy sounds so wonderful. But in real life, it just seems like something that is impossible to experience all the time. And many of us have settled and we've come into this unspoken agreement that, you know what? Being down is a bit more normal and just the way life works than having all this excitement and jubilation and celebration and jubilation all the time. So I'm just going to settle for being realistic with my emotions. But within Queen Conversation, I want for you to know that we're going to unpack so that we can continue to press through or press on, lean into really believing that we can experience the best in this life in how we think and how we feel and what we experience and the things that we do. Okay, so let's continue to do that with this episode. Now, this is the major part that I want for you to receive, Queen. If you're struggling with joy, if you're struggling with understanding how life in and of itself can be an experience of celebration, an experience of jubilation. How do I live that way? How can I have a joyful heart that will indeed be good medicine? Well, we're saying yes. This is Yesvember, so I want for you to say yes in anticipation. Say yes in anticipation. Now, anticipation simply means to look forward to. Okay? You may be wondering, okay, that's it? What do I have to look forward to? And this is where the work comes in. This is where the willingness comes in. This is where the change takes place. This is where you make the decision, you make the choice, and therefore you take that step. So when I talk about that anticipation and looking forward to, it simply means that when you wake up, there is an expectation. There is within your own mind the taking back, I want to say, of your power, the taking back of your perspective, the taking back of your point of view. What do I mean by taking it back? You're taking control of it once again. And I want for us to focus on the day before you, the moment before you. Look forward to that. For so many of us, we have had experiences that day, the day. You might be looking towards a day. The day when we'll wear that dress, the day when we'll have that experience, that moment. But what if we were able to live life with the day, every day being that day to us or for us? In anticipating, in looking forward to, in being excited about your day, just the day ahead, you can experience joy. And yes, you've heard it already. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm not here to say anything that might be earth-shattering to you, but perhaps more so a gentle reminder. Now, how do we make saying yes to joy? How do we make saying yes in anticipation possible? How do we make it practical? Okay, so I want for us to think about three things, three ways that we can experience joy and do that intentionally. The first thing is I want for us to find, look for, be intentional about finding two things to anticipate, to look forward to each day. You might be thinking, every single day? What do I have to look forward to every single day? You have to answer that question. You really do. Do you wake up expecting? Do you wake up excited? If not, this is the practice that we want to put into action. This is the behavior, the habit that we want to develop. Waking up with a sense of expectation, right? Starting off with that gratitude, being grateful, thanking God for the day, looking forward towards something. You are here for a reason and for a purpose. And it might sound like we're doing too much. Like, Lydia, what is with all the assignments and what is with all the suggestions? But I am telling you, as someone who is wanting to live a life that is intentional and live a life that is purposeful, and it requires my attention and it requires my intention. Okay, and so I am committed to waking up and saying, hey, I'm looking forward to doing this one thing or these two things. Find the practical things, and they can already be a part of your day. They can already be a part of your experience. But how can you attach a mentality to it where you are excited about it, you are grateful for it? That is one way I believe that you can experience joy every single day. But definitely, y'all, getting up also and just telling God thank you and doing it with a sincere heart, that can position you to experience that joy and that joyful heart that is truly good medicine. If you are enjoying this episode, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. The second thing that I want for us to think about, this is a new one and it's interesting. It's a little out there for me. Get curious. I heard someone say the other day that curious people are happier, or they're happy people, right? People that are willing to discover, people that are willing to ask questions, people that want to know, they're inquiring. And I had to think about that. When we tend to get stuck in our ways, stuck in what we know, that's all we know. And the curiosity does not just have to be about asking questions all the time, but even saying, I wonder what it would be like to make something new in the kitchen. Get curious about a recipe. Get curious about a certain type of music. Get curious about a certain book or author. It can sound corny. It can sound like that's just more work that you have to do. But honestly, because that is very different from how I am, that intrigues me. So I think we should give that a try. I think that curiosity is something that can lead to us again discovering. I think also just being playful. I get excited about that, and I think that can stir up some joy in us. We can discover some things about ourselves, or even what if you got curious and there's a memory, something that you remember from your past. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna share this. When I was younger, we used to watch the show on PBS called The Dragon. But anyways, I just literally one day went back and watched a few episodes. And now that I think about it, that was a pretty fun moment. It might not be like deeply rooted in joy per se, but it's just something that took me back to being younger. Come on now, Gullah Gullah Island, hello? That could be a good little memory lane to go down. But just something like that. Think about something. I used to do this. I used to do that. I used to listen to this song. Search for it on YouTube. Search for a show you used to watch on YouTube. Watch an old school episode of something. I mean, just different ways of adding a new flavor. Just a spice, something else to your life and to your day. I think it's something that can really help you begin to experience like living a life of joy. And I have to stress that it's really about getting away from needing a big moment, needing a magical day, needing something to be so different and drastic to experience these moments of happiness or joy. It's really about cultivating a daily experience of joy and being intentional about it. So let's give it a try. That leads me to the third and final point, okay, is that make every day a memorable one. This one is very important to me because I've been thinking more and more about how I approach the things that I do daily. There's often this idea, and I hinted at this in the second point, that we have to have a special day, right? I mean, come on. Milestones are important. Memorable moments are important. When you have worked hard in school, that graduation day is amazing. When you have been in a relationship for a while, the wedding day should be amazing. But listen, you get up every day, queen. You get dressed. Why not do the best dress? Why not be in your best? Okay, I'm not even talking about like putting on heels and a gown. But I mean, like, if you're gonna put on jeans, like put on jeans and your favorite t-shirt and like your favorite tennis shoes. I've come to be inspired by the women that are into fashion, that are into like this color makes my skin pop, or wearing certain things together. I mean, like, you see how much thought they put into that, and I'm like, wow, this has really become a career. It has really become people's full-time jobs. But many times I look at them and I'm so inspired just by like the joy of living the life that they want to live and admiring what they want to admire, wearing every single day, every single moment, something that they feel is beautiful and that they look great in. And I think that can apply to all of us. If you're in a relationship, what if every single date night was like a wedding day? Not in that you get dressed up and get all made up, but that you put some thought into what you're actually doing. I remember one date night that I had with my husband, and I put some thought into it, and it was something that was simple, and it just included pictures from past dates and kind of bringing up memories and celebrating. But it was special because I thought about it and I took time to plan it. And when I say took time, it did not take me months and months and months, but it was just a week of making sure I had everything printed and labeled. For some of us, it's like, okay, instead of going to the restaurant, let's have a picnic on the porch. Let's watch a movie together. That was one of our first dates that we ever went on. Let's try to recreate that. Think about it. Make every moment memorable. Don't wait for the wedding day. Because how many times y'all will get married and renew the vows? You only have that, once, twice? And then it becomes a past, something that's memorable. You have nice pictures. But let's learn how to add some things to it. If you are not in a relationship, but you hang out with your girlfriends. I had the opportunity to attend a game night, and it's young, beautiful women like getting together, laughing, cooking, eating, playing games, doing karaoke. I mean, putting thought and effort. Like, that stuff is memorable. It's fun, and it can lead to joy. Y'all see how I'm getting excited? Like, after this, like, start planning. When you're done with this episode, go ahead and start planning something that's memorable. But make whatever you do, like, make it count. Please, when you go to the restaurant, how we go to the restaurant, it's like, I'm gonna go to the restaurant, we just getting water, we're not getting appetizers, we can't have dessert. Don't do that. Eat at your house. When you go to the restaurant, enjoy yourself. Make it memorable. Like, just choose to. And this is really why we have to do the work, y'all. As I conclude, we have to do the work because so many factors all around us are positioned and they're capable of pulling us down, of weighing us down. Life is heavy enough. The demands are heavy enough. The Bible talks about today having enough trouble of its own, so don't worry about tomorrow. And if today has trouble, why don't you put some effort into finding the joy that's in it, right? Why don't you put some effort into finding the beauty of it? I want for you to think about that. I want for you, Queen, to say yes to joy and say yes in anticipation. Queen, I want to thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope that you know that we have so much to be thankful for. You already know that. You already know that. And so I'm going to say thank you once again to you and let you know that I'm so grateful for you. Please follow me on all platforms at I am Lydia. And until next time, be the best queen that you can be, which is simply the best you that you can be. Thank you for watching Queen Conversation. Okay, I'll be back. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. I feel joy. Let me make sure. One more time. I just need to make sure. What's going on? Two things. No. Wow, that was about to be a mess. A mess. Okay. I need my notes. Let's get into it. No, we've already gotten into it. Duh. Sometimes we navigate to making something over and over. No, we gravitate. Does that make sense? I hope so. Joy. Joy.